On behalf of the more than 800 North Carolina Cooperative Extension professionals working in all 100 counties statewide, on our college campuses, at our research stations, and with the Eastern Band of the Cherokee, we thank you for the opportunity to be part of the first Rural Day event. I also want to thank you for your energy, your passion, and your tireless work to help strengthen North Carolina. We must collectively focus on the strength and availability and viability of rural communities. This state is changing rapidly, and rural North Carolina must be just so much more than just a space for our urban population to drive through on their way to the beach or the mountains. The mission of our North Carolina Cooperative Extension Partnership is to help create economic and societal prosperity for all North Carolinians by extending knowledge and innovation from our state's two land-grant institutions, NC State University and NC A&T State University. We do that by forming partnerships with county governments, businesses, and stakeholders. We listen to understand local challenges, and we work with researchers and subject matter experts to create and deliver innovative solutions. Our work in rural North Carolina focuses on three areas: agriculture, health and nutrition, and youth development. Through many programs in agricultural production, Master Gardeners programs, our community resource programs in Ag Ventures, and many other programs, and local foods, we've made over 763,000 face-to-face contacts in the past year and helped almost every farm in the state adopt best management practices. The North Carolina Cooperative Extension connects with agricultural research at both universities that impacts rural communities. In fact, NC State Research and Extension on just 5 crops provides a $1.4 billion annual economic boost to North Carolina's Tier 1 and Tier 2 counties. Our programs with East Carolina in agrimedicine and also with executive farm management have further created a partnership that works east into rural North Carolina. Our food and nutrition agents made over 327,000 face-to-face contacts and helped over 100,000 North Carolinians increase their consumption of fruits and vegetables, to exercise more, and to decrease chronic illnesses. Extension's 4-H programs reach over 247,000 youth annually, helping them increase their STEM knowledge, learning about crops, animals, and the environment, and helping to create our future leaders. It is a privilege to help rural communities transform their challenges into opportunities for success, and to work with so many outstanding partners, especially the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services and Commissioner Steve Troxler. While I doubt he needs an introduction here, Commissioner Troxler was raised in rural Guilford County and has spent his entire career in agriculture. In addition to developing new markets for North Carolina farm products, preserving working farms, and protecting the state's food supply in his role with state government, Steve is first and foremost a farmer and a family man. Over the years, Troxler Farms has produced wheat, vegetables, soybeans, and tobacco, which I know he's very proud of. His family has even been named Tobacco Farm Family of the Year by the Tobacco Growers Association of North Carolina. Commissioner Troxler is also an NC State alum, go Pack, and he has been recognized with numerous awards for his work in public service. Among his many accolades, he is a past president of the National Association of State Departments of Agriculture and an innovator in the area of food safety. It is an honor and privilege to work with Commissioner Steve Troxler to elevate North Carolina agriculture and our rural communities, and I'm pleased to turn things over to him now. Commissioner.
I want to thank the Rural Center for the opportunity to be here today, but more than that, I want to thank you for taking the time to come to Raleigh to talk to legislators about rural North Carolina and what we are and the future of rural North Carolina. I happen to know a little bit about rural communities in North Carolina because I grew up and still live in the little community of Brown Summit, which is north of Greensboro. And I used to say it was 10 miles north of Greensboro, but now the truth of the matter is the city lake is about 1.5 miles from my farm, so I'm that close now. And I've seen a lot of changes over time from thinking back to when I was a kid, and this community, everybody knew everybody. The families had been there for sometimes hundreds of years, and now we're a bedroom community of Greensboro. So there have been a lot of changes. Agriculture is where we are in rural North Carolina, and I believe that if we have strong ag economies, then we're going to have a strong rural economy in North Carolina. And there's some things that we think are important to ensure the future of agriculture and agribusiness in North Carolina. First is natural resources. We've seen the disappearance of farm and forest land in North Carolina at an alarming rate. In fact, I look back over figures that date back to 1970, and between now and then, we've lost 6.6 million acres of farmland. So that is a tremendous hit to what our capability is in agriculture, and it's continuing. And as you talk to legislators today, I hope that you will echo the importance of preserving farmland, and we do that through the Farmland Preservation Trust Fund in the department, but it's an endless battle, to put it lightly, with development encroachment, solar facilities, so we continue to struggle with that. And the question is, when do we reach a point of diminishing returns when we don't have those natural resources available to farmers? We've kept up so far and even prospered. I look back at the time that I came in office, agriculture and agribusiness was a $59 billion a year industry. That's a big industry, but today it's $84 billion and continuing to grow. So we're going to continue to grow this industry, and I think there's some key things that we are doing that are going to help with that. First, we've got to continue to have agricultural research. If you look back when farmers were subsistence farmers feeding their families, today one farmer feeds 155 people. The weather hadn't changed. It's always too hot, and it's always too cold, and it's always too dry, and it's too wet for a farmer. That's our constant, so that didn't change. Now, government policy has a lot to do with the success of agriculture. But that ag research is what's taken us to the point that we are today. And when I look at the projections for the need for food in the future worldwide, they're saying we're going to have 75 to 100% more food by the year 2050 to be able to feed the hungry people of the world. And I want you to take something away today that I always say. Hungry people are mean people. Think about it. Well, you know, that's our strategic thing that we do in agriculture. We feed people not only in North Carolina, but the nation and the world, and we've got to continue to do that. The United Nations says if we don't meet these food goals, there's going to be more terrorism, unrest, political craziness. So agriculture can do our part. We can feed these people if we have the resources to do it, so that's so important. We have a food manufacturing initiative in North Carolina as a result of the governor's food manufacturing task force, and I really believe that's how we're going to continue to grow this industry and get to a $100 billion industry. That's my goal. I want to be there by the year 2020, and I think if we do things right, we will be there. But it makes sense for us not only to grow the food in North Carolina, but to manufacture it right here and get all of the dollars from where we started the farm gate through food manufacturing, transportation, wholesale, all the way to the retail level. We want to be greedy. We want that money here in North Carolina. So we are working hard to make that happen. And thanks to the Tobacco Trust Fund, for the first time, we have a recruiter on the road nationally that is trying to bring food manufacturing to North Carolina. I think this is going to be a huge success and something that will be the cornerstone of our growth for the future. We are using agritourism in North Carolina to bridge that gap between the rural communities and the cities of North Carolina. It's a great educational tool, but it also is an opportunity for people in agriculture to garner some extra income by bringing people to the farm to see what goes on the farm. I myself and my wife now have an agritourism operation that involves weddings and business meetings on our farm, and it's a great opportunity to meet people and for them to understand the importance of what a farming operation is. So we are one of the leaders in the nation in that, and we want to continue to grow agritourism in North Carolina. I want to thank you once again for being leaders in rural communities and taking the time to do what you do. I know growing up in the community that I grew up in, we built the fire departments, we built the athletic associations. There wasn't a county function that did this. We had to take it on ourselves as citizens and leaders to get these things done, and that grows communities. It grows the closeness of communities, and it grows the leaders in the communities. So I know we're going to continue to do that. So go see your legislators. I can tell you that seeing a face from home means a lot to them. And knowing you personally, what you say can make a tremendous difference in the way they think about issues. So take that opportunity today and make the most of your time. The Department of Agriculture is right across the mall over here, and the door's always open. We would ask you if you'd like to come in and look around. I'll be in and out all day, so come in and say hello if you have time. Thank you again, and let's keep rural North Carolina strong and growing. Thank you.